think with the towel would be particularly hard.
Okay, so there is something interesting about perception, isn't there? That's 1, 2, 3, 4 people have now said this is going to be the magician's trick, isn't it? And Kevin said it when I had the Kevin said it when I had this on the table, right, where it's got uber friction. I'm thinking, I said, I'll have to take my head off to hospital to get rid of all the shrapnel out of my face. So last week's ATM, the Jello pudding, it's really about creating force transmissions through the skeleton. There is an important detail, though, that I need to bring to your attention. If it's really a biotensegrity model, there is no compression anywhere. Yeah, so when you're actually pushing, it's not bone abutting bone. It's finding just the right force so that the connective tissue doesn't, it's not bowing this way or bowing that way. So that exercise that you did is probably more, more in that direction, tensile forces than anything else. But let's play that game, that mental game, that bone abuts bone. So literally, bone, bump, 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 like dominoes, boom, 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 and then you arrive at the head. But when you pull, that's a totally different ball game. Pulling is not addressing the skeleton. Pulling is addressing the connective tissue. Yeah? If this, let's say this is the connective tissue network. Hello, fellow bones, how are you? What do you call yourself, fibula or tibia, huh? Which is lesser and which is minor? Oh, very good, fellow. Good chap. Do you know my friend the funny bone? Okay. So, if connective tissue is what connects the skeleton, then what makes sense for connective tissues is pulls. And it deforms with pulls, And that's actually what changes connective tissue. Yeah, the pulls on it is what changes it, what aligns its structure, which makes the differences. So every time that you pulled with your feet or with your legs, you were creating a deformation in the connective tissue framework. Depending on how you pulled, different deformations happened, right? So pushing is addressing the skeleton, pulling is addressing the connective tissue, which then takes along the skeleton for the ride. Does that make sense? That's like the difference. So talking in that fashion is like talking in terms of Newtonian mechanics, and talking biotensegrity is like talking in quantum. I know. So for everyday operations, it's so much easier to think just mechanics, just mechanics. Yeah. Now, thank you, Humorous. I never got your name. Ms. Navicula, gone on life's journeys lately in your boat, Miss Navicula. Yeah. So this is last one was a compression exercise, and this one's a tensile exercise. So could someone sit up there at that end? I'll give you a chair. So if you take hold of the two corners, just leave them on the table. So you could say this is a bone or a body mass, a very particular bony body mass, and this is another particular bony body mass. And you can see that this surface has irregularities. This, by the way, connective tissue does have substance, it does have weight. So when you go to, first of all, lift the towel, experience the weight of the towel in your hands, in your fingertips. You see how she's using fingertips, very good, yeah? And now find out at what point, as you start to lift the towel and pull it towards yourself, at what point do you start to feel the towel slipping on the surface? There it is. And then at what point do you feel there's something different there? Yeah, there's a different mass. And then you feel the weight of the towel up to there and the weight of the mass slipping on the table. Can you feel that? And you take out the slack, and then can you feel now that it's a little bit of, I know, it's like, why are you making me work so hard? Darren, you're a torture artist. I hate you. Yeah? Yeah. So basically, look at your choice. Yeah? Very, very fine discrimination here. These exercises, or some of these exercises, come out of this book, Palpation Skills. Yeah. Except this guy suggests you do it with glad wrap and marbles. Thank you very much. Yeah. Or plus, not glad wrap, it's too sticky. And what do they call them? Paint sheets. You know the thin paint sheets? Yeah. So this is gross. Yeah. So now let's set up a similar scenario. And the only difference is I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and I'm going to make one variation and one variation only. I will either hold down this to stop it from moving, or hold down this to stop it from moving. There'll be a moment when you encounter the weight of that. You'll need to decide, will I continue, or is it so much effort I'd rather not? Does that make sense? Okay, so close your eyes, and it's the same process. So you encounter the weight of the towel, you start to pull. You see the tension's going out, so. Okay. It's going to be a tug of war, baby. I didn't say make a hammock, but that was nice. Yeah, I actually had to up the force. Yeah, did you feel that there's a little jump at a certain moment? Tuk, tuk. Yeah. So okay. So you're allowed to. No, that's all right. But literally, we can hang off our clients. Like Philippa, where are you? Yeah, the other night, when Philippa and I were having a lesson together, there was a moment that I was literally just hanging off her. Yeah. So shall we do it again? One more time? Because I just want to reiterate the... So as much as I can, I'm placing the cups in the middle line. Yeah. Later on, if you want to play this some more, you can place the cups, and so you can detect. So close your eyes. Now, you'll need to make a choice here. If you know you're having to pull backwards, will you start off leaning forward so that you have somewhere to go? Will you start where it is and suddenly run out of room? There's choices to be made here. Yeah. So off you go. Yeah, try something different. I think that's a brilliant idea. Do that. Yeah, so there's the sliding. Yeah, there's the weight. And when you encounter, yeah, there it is. You can make a choice at this point. I'd rather not, it's too much force. I'm holding my breath, all of that other stuff. Or I'm going to see if I can move it. You have, why? Because you want to feel successful. Yeah, like here you are, you've got someone's leg, foot, ankle in your hand, and you want to move the head. Pull hard enough, anybody's head will move. But what's that about? But really, anybody's head will move. But to pull through, you are actually sensing how much can the foot move relative to the shin? How much can the shin move relative to the ankle? In other words, there's joints there, and those joints have some give. If you can sense that, then what the person experiences is a sense of differentiation. They're not a lump. They're not a lump. But you need to detect that, so that you can say, can you feel the difference between this and this? This and this. Yeah? So that's why that choice, I'd rather not. Just like in ATM, you're doing... would you mind lying on your tummy just there, please? Yeah, would you mind? Yep. Lie on your front. That's it. Have your head turned to your right. Bend up your right leg so that your knee is somewhere near your chest. All the way up. That's it. More. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, if I ask you, and I'm going to ask you, could you please take your right knee backwards? Yeah, she's laughing. That's enough. That tells me everything, right? At that moment, an image comes to your mind about how you're going to do it. That's called a particular pattern of action. A pattern of action comes to mind, and you go, you need to make a choice. You go ahead and take it backwards. She could force herself to do it. I've seen lots of dancers force themselves to do it. Or we could do a long ATM process that ends up in this movement. Could you please roll your pelvis to your left until you feel your right knee go backwards? You can do whatever you like with your arms. Yeah. When she does that, that's not a big deal, and she's not laughing anymore. She can do it. So we all have to make these choices about, will I invest that much energy? Will I invest that much force to do that which I want to do? Or will I find another way? That's what your question is addressing, right? Yeah. And we deliberately set up scenarios like that, where something appears to be very difficult, but it's only difficult when you have a particular way of looking at it. Yeah, a particular pattern, yeah? A gestalt. Thank you very much, Juliet. Oh, you're going to try it on the other side? Yeah? This is in the, no, that's not in the awareness. Yeah. So this is the activity. When you get to that place, where, let's try something different. Can you play one more time? My wife keeps telling me, why don't you upgrade your computer? It's so bloody heavy. Because it doesn't have all the connections. Okay, so if we play the game one more time, and you please make the choice, when you encounter the weight of this, will you decide in terms of your own breathing and your own sensitivity to continue or not continue? You decided not to continue. Yeah. Yeah. Eventually, with enough force, this computer will slide just like the cup slide. Yeah, there it is. She can do it. What will be the determining factors? Perhaps you haven't got the right distance. Perhaps you haven't got the right grip. Perhaps you catch yourself holding your breath. Perhaps you catch yourself squeezing your eyes or pressing your tongue. You know, all those things in ATM that you learned to detect? Right here. Right here. Okay? And you're working in pairs, and of course, you play together like we played together. Thank you very much for playing. Okay? Find a towel. There's lots of them. There's lots of green ones down there. There's certainly plenty of cups. If you're careful enough, you can load the cup with water or no water.